Hello, I'm Frost, and welcome to my in-depth guide on Age of Wonders Planetfall, where I cover the strategies and tactics for all the different factions and secret techs. And with this episode, we're at episode 2 with the Dvar and the Celestian secret tech. Okay, welcome back. So we're going to do a recap, as we usually do once we get to episodes 2 and 3, and sometimes 4. Although at the moment I think we might only be 3 episodes on this one. So where we were at is, if we go into our diplomacy, we had a battle with Ayah. Ayah decided to declare war on us, and she tried to invade our territory, and we were able to catch her unawares, and we did some manual combat in episode 1, and we were able to defeat her. So she is greatly weakened at the moment. Toku, we have a non-aggression pact with, so all good. And then Angela came out of nowhere, and as always, she took a dislike to me. So one of the things we're going to do straight away is we're going to do a pronouncement, give her a compliment, and try and keep her sweet and on board. So we don't know who anybody else is. Also, I've only discovered one NPC faction, which is unusual, and that is the Forgotten, which means I don't have that kind of conflict between the factions that you normally do. When you do a mission for one, it upsets the others. So that's absolutely great. I've also got a hero offer that's just come in. And if we look at my units here, they're a little bit tattered. You can see they all took some damage. And one of the things I'm going to have to do is build up these armies, because if we go over to the east here, we can see that there is Ayah right there in the Stonberg colony, and she's all on her own. So I've got a feeling that she's extremely weakened, and so therefore we're going to try and attack and see if we can take over those colonies, as I have kind of a bit of a production issue. My production rate's really not high enough. Now I have a prospector right here. What we're going to do is we're going to start moving him in that direction, and we're going to go into Ayah's territory and see if we can see any more armies, so we know what we're up against. In the meantime, I'm going to let my units heal, which I've now lost. Where have they gone? Oh yeah, they're right here. So I'm going to let these units heal up. I've got another sort of unit somewhere down here. There we go. I need to start moving him up. And we're going to get them all together. We're going to recruit this hero, and we're going to build up so we've got at least kind of 3 decent armies. We're not going to leave it too long, because I don't want Ayah to sort of build up her armies either. And then we're going to rush in and see if we can take those territories. I believe some of my units, here we go. So Vadik the Lost One has got an upgrade. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do piloting, and I think I'm going to put my guys into ramjets. So we're going to confirm that. So at the moment I get 18 damage with the spike gun. But if I take the ramjet, let's see, if I take the ramjet, it drops to 16 for the rockets, but it's an area of effect weapon. So it does damage in one hex radius. So I think that's going to be better. And then I've also got the benefit of melee with the aerial ram. And I've got the afterburners, which give me 20% increased melee damage. So that's definitely, I think, worth it. So we're going to confirm that loadout. We need to change this as well. So we're going to do, what should we do? Should we do, I think we'll do explosives incendiary, and then we get a 20% buff as well. So we'll do that. There we go. We're up to 20 on the ram now and 19 on the rockets. So I think that's definitely a good move. So we'll do that for now. And then we'll see here. Now already we've got the piloting for Pavotra. My Russian's not good enough to pronounce that properly. So we're going to give Vitality 2, and I think we will do we'll do support a steady aim as well. And we won't be using cover. I don't particularly want the disrupting hack because that's kind of more of a synthesis mod. So what we'll do is we'll do the Deadeye instead, because that will give us more chance of a critical hit. So we'll confirm those, and so they're trained up. And oh look, I've got some goodies there as well. I've got an Inferno launcher, so we'll move that to our arsenal and use that in a little while. Then on the doctrines front, I recently trained up operational effectiveness, so I've got another doctrine I can use. And because we're going to war, I'm going to use the Technologist, which gives me 2 extra tactical points, which comes in really handy for manual combat. And those tactical points are cheaper to use, which is good because I've only got 178 there, so in terms of energy. And in fact, that's going to drop to a 128. I need to recruit my hero, which is 225. So I'm going to have to wait 1 round, and then I'll have enough energy to recruit my hero. And then I need to make sure that I get enough energy, so I've got enough energy for the tactical operations for when I attack. So we'll do that on the next round. That's the update, and what I'll do is I will get all that together in the next 2 turns. If anything changes, I will let you know. Otherwise, I will meet you when we're ready to go and attack Ayah. So we've now moved forward to turn 40, and I've had to move my plans ahead. The reason why was Ayah came and attacked this sector right here, which had the pulse defense turrets, which I needed. And I thought, you know what, I'm not going to wait, because if I wait too long, then too many factors unknown variables could take effect. So I started moving forwards. Anya has now disappeared. I think she's gone back to her capital, which is Rime. I tried to move in a prospector, and unfortunately that prospector got attacked by a trooper, and I didn't have enough energy to be able to use tactical operations. So that was a mistake on my part. I didn't wait long enough to build up some energy. So all of my colonies have been focused on building energy at the expense of research, but I thought that was probably the best move to make sure that I've got enough funds for my tactical operations. And as you can see, I've moved my units forwards. I now have 2 heroes in each army, which gives me some pretty strong armies. So I'd like to have had 3, but I just didn't have the time to do it. Now, I've just finished completing intelligence gathering because I need to get up to espionage, so I can then use these research taps and energy siphon to hopefully be able to grab some more resources. So we're going to put that in our queue. In terms of military research, I've done everything up to level 4 now, and I get this thing called Tenets of Healing, which is really nice because it's of an area of effect healing, but you can't put it onto mounted units. Let me see, down here. So it says it can be applied to mounted units, but I can't actually put it onto heroes that are in vehicles. But I managed to put it on diminutive, my army commander. So hopefully we can put that to good use if we get into manual combat. Then Leninsk is an unexploited sector. So we will I took over this one right here, the Virgin Plateau, just so that I keep all the groupings together. So what we're going to do is we're going to make that a industrial, as I really need to work on my industrial and get that working. So we're going to do that, and then now we're going to attack this colony, and then hopefully move forwards on Rhine. In the meantime, which was a surprise, was Angela has declared war on Ayah. So she's also a vanguard, and what I've been doing is I've been doing loads of pronouncements and compliments to keep Angela on board. Because I attacked a vanguard colony, potentially my standings could go down, but I kept her sweet, and for some reason she's decided to attack Ayah, which is in my benefit. I don't know where she is. I can't see her on the map, but hopefully she'll attack from the east, and then that will keep Ayah busy whilst I move in. So what we're going to do is we should be able to do an auto combat on this. There's only an army power of like 1,000. And I don't think I even need to use any tactical operations. I suppose I could. I can use my land torpedo, which is great, deals 20% of damage, does slow movement. We'll do that, we'll launch that. No, you know what? I'm going to cancel that because I need all the credits I can to do the main attack. So we will move in and we'll place our units in position. There we go, pop that one there. And then move in with the hero, and we should be absolutely fine with this. So we'll do an auto combat. And yeah, as expected, I didn't lose any units, so there was no point in using the land torpedo and kind of wasting the credits. And I can now see that Ayah is here, and she's got an army power of only 750, militia power of 1,000, so I think we're pretty good here. So what we're going to do is we're going to migrate this to a Dvar colony. Now that's going to upset Angela, but that's fine. We can do a few pronouncements and then we'll all be good. And I don't even need to deploy a monitor. So what I'll do is I will move my prospector into the rest of my armies, and then we'll move on Ayah and see if we can take her other territory. And that gives us 2 extra colonies, which would be great. So that will be of great use. Okay, so catch up in a few turns and we'll see where we go from there. Turn 43, and we are now ready to attack Ayah. A couple of things have happened. First of all, I managed to annex another sector for Brokgan, and the reason why I annexed this sector is because you can see right here there's a cosmite rift. And that Cosmite Rift is going to be great for me because I need the Cosmite. And because I have the bonus with regards to negotiation with NPC, it will only cost me 9 influence to get. And so I built a prospector there. I'm going to move that in right now. We're going to purchase that for only 9 influence, which is nothing. And not only do I bonus Cosmite, but then I'll now get a +5 Cosmite on every turn. So that was a great little acquisition. I would like to have taken these up here, but it's worth expanding a little bit all over the place to try and get these Cosmite bonuses, as Cosmite becomes really important as we move further into the game. And talking of Cosmite, I upgraded all my units that I could. So for example, I made sure all my bulwarks had a fully modded, and my Starbringers here, or Lightbringers should I say, I gave them loads of tank. So in other words, I gave them resistant armor and also Shield of Remorse, which gives them +10 vitality. And the reason why I did that is because these guys have got a healing ability. So I want to keep these guys alive so they can heal my other units. And then finally, I've got the Tenets of Healing, which is that healing pulse. So that was the idea behind that. And so they're all modded up as well. And we're ready to attack. In the meantime, Toku has declared war on Angela. So Angela's declared war on Ayah, which I'm about to attack now. But Toku's declared war on Angela, which is great for me because if the other factions are fighting each other, then that's going to weaken them and allows me to then focus on building up my armies. And with the Dvar, I'm in a good position to do that, especially now as I'm annexing all new sectors as production sectors. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and do this battle very quickly. And it should be very quick. I can't imagine there's going to be any issues. As you can see, I've got loads of energy because I've literally had all my colonies just focused on energy. So before I move this unit in, we're going to do a Soulfire, which is going to give them 20% damage if it's successful, even if it's not. And we'll get Soul Burn as well. So we'll launch that. And yeah. Okay, I think the Soul Burn always seems to be effective. There doesn't seem to ever be a percentage chance on that. And then Land Torpedo, so we do another 20% of damage on top. So I just reduce the damage that I will take as much as possible. So either way, I will do 20% damage even on this 50-50, and it was successful. So they got slow movement as well. So now on an auto combat, I would imagine that this is going to be a straightforward case. Yeah, very little risk battle. So we'll just do a straight auto combat on that. And I lost 1 bulwark and a prospector. Oh, there we go. And I lost a golem as well. Is that mine? Yeah, that's mine. Okay, you know what? I can take that. I'm not going to do a whole battle with this because it would take forever. And we've won. We're going to be able to upgrade our heroes. And as you can see, we now have extended our territory somewhat. And look at that. There's even another colony right here. It's going to cost me 90 influence. But you know what? I'm going to grab that. That's great because I've already got a Vanguard colony. So I think we'll keep these as Vanguard. Well, I have no choice, in fact. It's going to be a Vanguard colony. Let me just double check. Yeah. So what we'll do is I will build an owl. That will be my first job here, is to build an owl. And then we will build, obviously, our military infrastructure just to make sure that it's fairly well protected. So that means we'll put the turrets on and at least the basic infrastructure. And we could do with some production, so we'll put that in the queue as well. And we'll do the food sectors so that can be upgraded so this colony can grow. So that's going to keep the colony busy for, as you can see, for the next 10 turns. And then as soon as I got the owl, I will go down there and I will take over this colony of Malzbeth. And as you can see, I'm starting to gain a lot of territory now, but it's very spread out. So I think what's going to happen is I will probably go Doomsday Weapon, and I will aim on getting like Narevink, Leninsk, and Uzar as my 3 colonies, so then I can place a Doomsday Weapon in Greengate Pass, 1 in Brilliant Minds, and 1 in Reservation Drifts, and then I can put all my armies in Leninsk, and that will allow me to protect. And I think that's the way I'm going to go. I'm going to go Doomsday Weapon. So what's going to happen now is once I've finished risk management, I will do Light of Truth, and I will focus now on switching a lot of my colonies towards research so I can get Light of Truth and then go up towards Ascension so that I can then deploy my Doomsday Weapon. In the meantime, I'll just keep building up these armies. One last thing, Uazar here, I can annex another colony, but another sector, but I don't want to take Daisy Fields as it will upset the Forgotten, and they're the only faction I'm kind of in a relationship with at the moment. You know, I've got friendships, so I don't want to really mess with that. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to come back with my armies and deal with this spawner nest, which is going to cause me problems anyway. And so we will take that out, and then I can annex that sector, and it won't upset the Forgotten faction. So overall, I think we're in a good position. We've got a plan, and we'll see how it all pans out in the next few turns, and I'll catch up with you when something is relevant again. Okay? We've now reached turn 47, and as planned, I'm now about to deal with this spawner site so that I can annex that sector for Uzawa. It took me a little while to get there because there were some marauders running around Rhyme, and because at the moment my defense turrets and my military infrastructure weren't built yet, I didn't want to risk losing the colony straight away to some marauders. In the meantime, I've literally got my owl down here, and I've now taken over the Vanguard settlement of Malzbeth, and so that's going to give me another colony. But as you can see, I am very spread out. You know, it's a really long spread out sort of situation. So this is extremely difficult to protect because I will not be able to move my armies that quickly from one end to the other. I have actually just trained up transit infrastructure through the accelerated force deployment, which doubles the speed at which I can move through the colony. But either I have to split up my forces and cover both ends, or I have to try and run across, and it's just not going to be feasible. So the Doomsday Weapon is definitely the way to go, because then I can just concentrate all my efforts into one area, so that when I arm the Doomsday Weapon, I'm in a position to protect it. Now, as you can see at the top here, my knowledge income has now gone up to plus 300. It was like plus 100, and that's simply from taking all my colonies away from being energy focused to now doing a bit of everything and specializing my colonies more. So, for example, Brockgan down here, you can see I've got loads of slots. So we're going to take off the research on these two, and we're just going to go all in with production there, simply so that I can protect the south, as I really don't know what's down there, and that will give me an opportunity on the edge of my borders to build armies very quickly if necessary. Then Leninsk, which is my primary production colony for research, that's going to continue doing its thing, and so forth and so on. So overall, I'm in a good position. I've discovered a new opponent called Cleopecia, and we started off on a bad footing, as always, but I played a compliment. I don't know where she is, but as soon as I acquired this settlement, she popped out of the woodwork, and we'll have to see what goes on with that. But in the meantime, I'm in a position, like I said, to deal with this spawner nest, which I'll do on the next turn. And then we'll catch up once we've moved forwards. Now, just before I go, I'm just doing Noble Division, just so I can get a better vehicle, which gives me a +5 vitality, because all my heroes are in ramjets at the moment, and I'd rather put them in the Barons. And then after that, we'll go on to Light of Truth, and then go up through this tree up towards Ascension. Now, if you remember, this was like 44 turns before. It's now down to 29. I'm going to keep focusing now on building up my knowledge, whilst also making sure that I got my production underway. And I also acquired another hero, who's right here. So I acquired that hero. I also got a heavy unit called the Shattered Ark as a quest prize. And so I've got a pretty strong, powerful unit right there. It's already at army power of 757. And I'm going to go down and attack this these units down here, so I can get another quest for the Forgotten faction and get them really on board. So then hopefully I can get to the point where they can actually protect me, and I can use them if I go to war with anybody, they can attack my enemy for me. So there you go. Quick update on that, and time to move on. I've now moved forward to turn 52, and I've discovered where these other colonies are. So I can see the Amazons are here, and I'm just busy at the moment just moving my my little owl around so that I can deploy a monitor and just have a good look at what's going on in the general area. There we go. So I've got a better idea now of the forces that are there And then there's a Vanguard colony down here. I think that's the Vanguard colony. So there's Angela, there's Nicole. Yes, Nicole's the yellow. So the Vanguard colony's down there. So everybody is down in the southeast. So my plans of putting my Doomsday weapons up here in the northwest is definitely a good move. Nuazar is upset at the moment, so Uazar, because there was a hazard that I've just removed, so that's still just clearing at the moment. But in the meantime, Rhyme can get another sector, and I can see here there's an energy bonus, and I get a plus 5 if it's an energy exploitation. So we will do that. We'll annex it and make an energy one, because my energy is a little bit low. I'm only getting like 103 at the moment. I'm not sure if anybody's got an energy siphon on me, so I've done an internal purge. And talking to covert operations, I can do another doctrine. And so the one I'm going to do is the one that allows me to get, here we go, this one, the operator. So my covert and strategic operations are going to cost 25% less, because I want to try and do some research taps and some energy siphons, because I could really do with the income, especially as the Doomsday weapons cost 200 energy and 50 cosmite. So we're going to start priming that now. And as you can see, I've got good relationships with everybody as well. So that, and also, taking these bonuses will mean that hopefully I can do some siphons and just hurry things along a bit. Also, you can see that Malzbeth is ready to annex another sector. And there's some cosmite here, so I'm going to send these guys in. Oh, look, we can just chase them, allow them to retreat. So even easier. And that means that I can now annex this sector, and then I'll get another cosmite bonus there. So you can see my cosmite is building up really nicely. I need 50 cosmite for each Doomsday weapon. So I need to get as much cosmite as I can, as well as reinforcing my troops. The Forgotten faction want a Reaper Bucker destroyed, and that is miles away from everything. But it's only an 832 army, and I have this army down here. There's got a Baron now as well. I have a Baron unit for him. So that's an advanced piloting. And I'm saving all of my hero points for my other army commanders so I can get them in these Barons, because we get a plus 5 vitality, and they just look great as well. So I just like the look of them. And so what we'll do is we'll do this one on the next turn, and we will do this this mission as well, because I'm trying to get the Forgotten really happy. I've met the Sci-Fish. They were down here somewhere. And so I've just got to keep them sweet so that we don't go to war, but I don't want to upset the Forgotten, as I really want to build that relationship with them. And that's about it. So plans are brewing. I'm slowly but surely expanding in a very long ribbon of territories. I may build another colonizer at some point, but I just have to keep an eye on the Amazons here. And I think at the moment I keep them happy, their armies, pretty powerful. The Amazons, they go pretty quick, just like the Kyoko. You can see there's another colony up here. So the moment I keep them happy, then that should give me enough time to get my Doomsday plans into operation. And we will move on from there. Okay, we're now at turn 58. And since my battle with Ayah, things have changed dramatically. In fact, if we look now, you can see I have non-aggression pacts with all of the remaining players. Which puts me in a very strong position. Unfortunately, I was doing an energy siphon on Toku, and I got spotted, even though I had like a 90% chance of achieving it. So I'm having to spend my influence points to complement. I actually now have the ability to do another energy siphon. As you can see, I've got really, really good odds here. So I'm doing these literally all the time at the moment. So I've got energy siphons, and I'm doing research taps. There'll be one in another turn to try and really boost up my revenue. So I've started building 2 of my Doomsday weapon spires. Now, originally I was going to build them in Naruvink, Lensk, and Uzar, but the issue is that because this is a special sector, it's a landmark, I can't build a Doomsday weapon on it. But then I realized that if I use Leninsk, Kasimov, and Uzar, as you can see, I can use Verdant Plateau, I can use Time-Struck Ruins, right there, whoops, and I can use Tyrellian's Pride Base, right there. So they're all together, and they're all right next door to each other. So I've started building 2 of the Doomsday weapons. I need another 100 credits energy to build the last one on Tyrellian's Pride Base. And then they're going to take about 8 or 9 turns. In the meantime, I'm making sure that I'm on my research trees, I've just done energy development. I've just finished research development, and obviously I'm going to be adding those level 2s to all of my colonies. And then what I'm going to do is I'm now going to do adaptive exploitation so I can get that cosmite, because I still want to get as much cosmite as possible. Once all 3 doomsday weapons are started to be in place, then I need to start building up more armies and get them all into place so that I'm ready to activate the doomsday weapon when that happens. So you can see I'm now 12 turns away from being able to implement that. And then once I have that, then it's another 10 turns to actually activate the weapon, as I remember. And then we're good to go. So far so good. I've managed to keep everybody calm. And that's primarily because of the Celestian. I've been able to build up a lot of influence points. And those influence points I've been using all the time to make compliments to my enemies to keep them on board. And so that is where the Celestian comes in really, really handy. So what we'll do is we'll move a little bit further on, as I'm not expecting any conflicts at this stage. Now it's just purely strategy and getting in place, ready to catch everybody by surprise. Things have been really quiet, getting up to turn 68. What I've been doing is I've been doing loads of energy siphons. I've been doing loads of research taps. As a consequence of that, I've been doing very well in terms of getting, you see, I've got 1,000 energy now, 436 on my knowledge income. Plus I've been getting bonuses to the point where I've now reached Ascension. So I can actually prime the Doomsday weapon. It will take 375 energy and then take 4 turns to prime. And then after that, it will take 10 turns for the Doomsday weapon to activate. So once I actually prime this and launch it, then potentially everyone will go to war with me. So I have to make sure that I have all my armies in place. Now you can see I've got 252 cosmite up here, and I've been saving it so that I can now start building heavy units. So I've done, as you can see, Ascension. Now I'm going to work on my excavation and then ideally my artillery division, so I can get these rocket artilleries, which are great, and hopefully also get kinetic force manipulation, explosive payloads, so I can mod them properly as well. So I'm going to start the research on that. And then on the society side, obviously what I want is operation effectiveness 4, so that I can get all my tactical operations. That is in place as well. My relationship has been pretty bad. As you can see, it's been going downhill, especially now I've activated the Doomsday weapon. That immediately drops your relationship with everybody. On top of that, because people have been asking for open borders with me, and I've been declining them because clearly I don't want everybody running around my territory right now before I'm launching the Doomsday weapon, and as a consequence these all dropped almost to 0. So I don't stand much of a chance of recovering from these, and anyway I'm going to launch my Doomsday pretty soon anyway. I could do the ones that are the worst and hopefully hold them off from declaring war for at least 4 turns until I can get my Doomsday weapon launched. So there we go. That's probably about, let me see if I can just compliment everybody and just keep everybody on board. For some reason, Toku is still fine with me, so we'll just leave that as is. So that's the situation right now. I will come back to you a little bit later, and we'll see if we get to use these heavy units. It'd be nice if we could in one last big battle, and we'll see if it comes to that. Right, so we've made it to turn 73, and I am ready to deploy my Doomsday weapon. All my armies are in the wrong place because I decided to do one more mission for the Forgotten just to get my status up to integration. By getting them up to integration, I should be able to now call them to war to assist me. I don't know if I can do it with my Doomsday weapon on, but we can try. So at least I got that. So I just needed 5 more kind of influence points with them. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start rushing my units back, and then we're going to start deploying that Doomsday weapon. Everybody is still not at war with me, which is a good thing, although that's going to change very, very soon. The one thing I did forget to do was train up my elite military facility, so I couldn't get my heavy units. It's going to take 3 turns. We're going to skip that, I think. Oh no, only got 1 turn left on it, so we'll leave that. I might as well get my research in while I can. So I'm only going to be able to build a couple of heavy units in time, although I have loads of cosmites, so I'll be able to put hopefully best mods I can on there. And then I'm going to regroup everybody at Verdant Plateau or Time Stuck Ruins and see what happens from there. So let's do that now. Let's launch the Doomsday. So here we go. Launch now. And we're going to press the launch button. And there we go. So now we're going to find out what happens in the next 10 turns. And if anything happens, I will let you know. Okay, so we've made it to turn 76. As you can see, I've been building up my armies. What I've been doing is I've been doing things like the Serpians. I've been buying these from the Forgotten with my influence points. And also, because I had that integration, I managed to get the Forgotten to go to war with the Amazon, which is a good job because the Amazons are the ones that are coming towards me at the moment. So you can see they're right there. And that is Cleopecia. And I've already put into effect here on the colony. You could see I've got the Pulse Defense Watch, which every 3 turns will do damage to them. And also, I believe I've got Sanctuary to the Stars that's priming. Oh, that's in 1 turn. And that will also protect my colonies from any status effects. And I will try and get them done on these 3 colonies if I get time, but I'm not certain. In the meantime, I'm busy building units as fast as I can. So I've got some Barons building here, fully modded, of course. And then I've got an excavator building up here. It's going to be ready in 1 turn. That's an excavator tank, I think. Yeah, there we go, excavator tank. Then also what I'm doing is I'm still 2 turns away. I'm training up explosive payloads because I get this, the fire burst. Not only does it do status effect of burning, but it does a 30% bonus to damage. Now, most of my units will be able to use this, and with all the Cosmite that I've got, I should be able to apply that to all of my units that have explosive damage, which is pretty much all of them. And that should boost up my army's power substantially. Now, I've got to wait 2 turns, but I think I'll be able to get it done in time. Then obviously I need a turn to do the mod as well. But I think it's going to take them a little while to get to me. That's if they do attack all the way to my colony. We will find out. So I'm ready. Let's see what happens. Right, we've now reached turn 79. And the Amazonians have taken Malzbeth. And that's okay. That was expected. And they're now moving up towards Rhine. And I've moved everything out of there. But not all the armies have come up, so we should be okay, but we'll have to see. So I've got 4 turns before victory. But Toku, the Kyoko, has taken one of my production facilities down here. And so he may come marching up on Uzar, so I need to be ready for that. In the meantime, in Narevink, I've got 4 turns left. I could quickly build a Baron, see if I can get 1 extra unit. What I did manage to do, though, is to mod all of my units. So you can see they're all modded here with the ammunition fire burst, which I mentioned. So that's going to take effect next turn and should give a serious buff to all of my armies. I have the Sanctuary of the Stars strategic operation, which I need to put into place. And that stops anybody's tactical operations or strategic operations from working in my colonies. Which means if I have a fight, it gives me a very, very big advantage. So I need to launch that now. I've done it for Kasimonov. We're going to launch it on Uazar, and then I should be able to get it on in time as well for my other colony, which is Leninsk. So there you go. So that's going to take 1 turn. I might as well set my military research, but at this stage, there's not going to be 5 turns left to go. I could try and get advanced launchers, but even then, it's going to take a turn for those to take effect. But we'll do it anyway. But we're going to sit tight, and we're going to see what happens now in the next 2 or 3 turns to see whether they attack or not. Okay, so we're at turn 81, and we're at a little bit of a sticky position right now because victory's in 2 turns, and the Amazonian, whose name I'm always forgetting, Cleo, I'll just call her Cleo, that'll be easier. Cleo has managed to get as far as Rhine, and because she's taken like these 2 colonies pretty effectively, and I also lost Brokgan to the Kyoko, although that army is not too big, that's not too bad. It means that I have no energy left. So I got no energy for any tactical operations, but I do have an overwhelming force. So what I'm going to try and do is just get in here right now with everything I have and just throw everything trying to take on Cleo. And there we go. It's a very low risk battle. I've left one unit behind just in case we need to deal with Kirko. There we go. So I've attacked there, and we've got one more battle to take. So let's see. 565, and my units are all pretty healthy. So what we'll do is we'll just massive move points. So I don't think I can even attack that unit. Okay, at least with that army, they can't take any of my other colonies. I've got this guy sitting here to protect against the armies that are over here in case they come over. Although my one army is more powerful than those two. So we have one turn left to go, I think, after this, 2 turns. Right, so I'm going to sit tight, see what happens with these armies up here. If they come down, then I may be able to move in time. I've got to be careful, though, because right now I'm not in my own colony, and so I don't have the advanced transit infrastructure. So I have to rely completely on this one army to protect me from the Kirko. So what we'll do is we'll move forwards and see what happens in the next turn. So we've moved forwards 1 turn to turn 82. As you can see, my victory condition is now 1 turn away. Cleo's moved back. So what we're going to do is we're going to immediately move in an army into here and just take back this colony so we get our infrastructure. There we go. Then I'm just going to pull these guys. In fact, I could just leave them there. I could even probably attack. But to be honest, I really don't need to at this stage. So I'm better off just sitting tight with these 2 armies, moving these 2 back into Kasimov. There we go. And then I've got my one army down here. But the Kirko have run away. They've moved back down to Brotgan. So I think it's pretty much job done. So what we're going to do is we're going to end the turn. And we're going to see exactly what happens at this stage. Yeah, we're going to end the turn. I just moved that guy away by mistake. But we should still be okay. Yep, so they're running away. So I think we're going to be pretty much done here. We're just going to wait for the move to finish. Opponents are moving. And there we go, job done. So unfortunately, we didn't get to use any of the heavy units or anything because I did the right move and used the Doomsday Weapon and used the expanse of my colony to distract them when they were attacking. They were attacking colonies that were far away from my Doomsday Weapon. So there you go. Hopefully you still got an idea of how the Dvar work though, and how the Celestian secret tech worked. If you want to see more manual combat and things with the Dvar or other factions, then I suggest you watch my Twitch stream. It's Wednesdays and Saturday nights. Saturday night is particularly my Planetfall time. If you go to frostysop.com, then you will see all my schedule and everything, and all my links to my various sites and media sites and stuff. So I hope you enjoyed that. Please give me a like if you did. You can dislike too, that's fine. Please subscribe, hit the bell icon to receive notifications when I release new material. And that's all for now. Thank you very much for watching. Until the next one. Bye.